Now let me tell y'all something about dreams. Listen up, because this is something I found out a long time ago that goes against everything you see in a movie, on TV, or what your great-grandma may have told you when you were a kid. See, dreams don't happen overnight. That ain't how it works. See, they come to you in the daylight. You gots to be awake. Cause baby, you got to run dreams down. See, that chase is where we learn the most about ourselves. To take that extra step, that extra mile, that extra rep. Now look here. You don't never know how long it's gonna take or exactly what it'll look like when you get there. The only thing you know is you can never stop. So, question time. What's your dreams? What's your dream? Are you willing to do what it takes to make that dream a reality? No. See, not while you're sleeping, but every darn day you wake up. Because if it does, good morning. Now give me my darn theme.
Oh, it's starting to feel like football season again. It's starting to feel like bus season again. Hey, we here. We back, man. Welcome in. Hope everybody had a great day, man. But it's starting to feel like bus football again. Man, we're going to get into it. We're going to have some talk, man. We're going to have some talk. If you just not coming in, man, make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe button to the platform. Because y'all know, man, it's buff season, expectations. The time is here. Time is now. It's game week. Football is here. It's back. All the talking, all that's going away. All that's going away. All the talking that you want to talk about is all going away. All right. So we here. We might as well talk about it now. Hey, how y'all feeling? Let me know how y'all feeling. It's game week. Game on Friday. Who ready? Let me see some buffs in the chat right now. Let me see some buffs in the chat. Before we get up in this thing, man, let me see some buffs in the chat because y'all know what time it is, man. This is the Georgia Tech versus Colorado preview. Expectations, how I'm feeling, right? Sorry, my brother from another mother, Coach Dre, he's not up here right now. But, hey, we still finna kick it, though. That don't stop nothing. That don't stop nothing. Because y'all know, man, we got, Georgia Tech been talking a little spicy lately. They been talking a little spicy. And I love it. I love it, right? I love, man, football season here. The headlines, everybody talking, all the yakking, all that. I love it, man. Hey, man, I can't wait to get here, man. I couldn't wait for this day to get here. It's game time. It's time to show up. It's time to put up or shut up, right? All that talking from the all season, man, we finally get to put the uniforms on and be in here. Hey, they talking. But you know what? If you ain't gotta believe me. I got you. Man, play the goddamn video.
Any thoughts on playing in the elevation or facing this crowd or just in general going out to Colorado?
Everybody says it's a different experience, but I've experienced some crazy stadiums since being here. So just knowing that, not trying to overhype it, honestly. Like it's another game. I know they bring out celebrities, they do all this crazy stuff, but we're playing football. Then none of them playing. They can hype you up all they want to, but you on the field, not them. Exactly, like, come on. So, yeah, just playing fast, like, not dwelling on that type of stuff.
You are absolutely 1,000% correct. It had nothing to do with what the question that was being asked. Because the question they were asking was about playing in elevation in Colorado, in Boulder, Colorado. And then you just went and just took and talked about everything outside of what the question was. But it's okay. I love it, man. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you want to keep putting bulletin material out there. Hey, man, good, bro. Hey, listen. This is a defensive back, Clayton Powell Lee, a defensive back for Georgia Tech. That's who said that message. It wasn't nobody else, nothing less, nothing more, right? That's who said that message. So if y'all want to know who said the message, because I know y'all been seeing it's been going around, it's been surfacing, and it's a lot of talking going on, man. And I love when people get to chirping, because now that you chirping, you gonna have to go back that up. You're gonna have to back it up, and there is no hiding, because one thing for sure, that clip you just put out there, they gonna make sure they spotlight you during the game. They gonna make sure, hey, this was the guy that was talking. This is the guy that was running their mouth. We don't need no extra motivation. We already motivated. But hey, Georgia Tech just threw the first rock. Hey, listen. For some of y'all that just coming in, I gotta replay it.
Any thoughts on playing in the elevation or facing this crowd or just in general going out to Colorado?
Everybody says it's a different experience, but I've experienced some crazy stadiums since being here. So just knowing that, not trying to overhype it, honestly, like it's another game. I know they bring out celebrities, they do all this crazy stuff, but we're playing football. Then none of them playing. They can hype you up all they want to, but you on the field, not them. Exactly, like, come on. So, yeah, just playing fast, like, not dwelling on that type of stuff.
Hey, they threw the first shot, not us, man. We sitting back over here. We just working. We ready to get to Friday, and, you got to chirping about nothing. You got to chirping at us. And another thing the reporters asked you was about elevation. Well, it's cool. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. Coach Prime about to put him on the big screen in meetings. Hey, listen. If that got to get you motivated for Friday, I don't need you to play. I'm being honest. I'm just being honest. If that has to get you motivated to play on Friday, don't even dress up. Don't dress up. Because you should already be ready to go, locked in mentally, right? And physically locked in for Friday. Ready to go. Because the main thing is going out there competing at a high level. Now, I ain't really got into the expectations of how I feel this game is going to go as far as Colorado, Georgia Tech. I think there's a lot of key things inside the game that has not been looked at. But we're going to give a serious breakdown. I remember Kobe Bryant wolfing at Travis and was working him like a 9 to 5. Hey, listen, those things going to happen, right? One thing I can tell you is you going out there and saying something, you're a defensive back. You got to go put up with them wide receivers. And we got plenty of them. Plenty of them. So you let me know which one you want to go out there and guard. I guarantee you, they going to have your number circled, and they're going to make sure they attack you. You ain't got to worry about it. A little bit later on, we're going to get into a little game, a little rapid-fire game. Some questions I came up with. So, hey, man, just stay tuned, lock in. But, hey, run them like so for sure. For sure enough, man. Run them like so. For sure. We here. It's Buff Talk, man. It's Buff Week, man. If you want to come up here and talk, got a question, hey, feel free to hit the link. Now, if you on X right now or if you on Twitch, pop over to YouTube. Make sure y'all like and share, subscribe to her. All right, so let's get into it, right? Georgia Tech. Who is Georgia Tech? What are they about? What have they done? From last season, this season. When you look at Georgia Tech, they only attempted 31 passes a game. So you're not going to see a lot of passing from them unless you put them in passing situations. On the other hand, they do love to run the ball, which is 38% of the time. 38 attempts per game. So when you look at 38 attempts versus 31 attempts in the passing game, that tells you right there, you have to stop the run if you want to be successful against Georgia Tech. Now, last year, they averaged 187 yards combined from the running back, from the quarterback, which the quarterback loves to run the ball. They love to run downhill with the quarterback. They love to put them in jet sweeps. They love to do a lot of different things with Georgia Tech's quarterback. So keep that in mind and be mindful, right? The name of this game is, for CU, is can we keep them under 150 yards for rushing? That's the key to this game. But I'm gonna say that for another show, because a show down the road, I'm gonna get into all the keys about Georgia Tech, as far as what Colorado needs to do, as far as to win, what they don't need to do, and all that particular thing. So just in general, right? When you look at Georgia Tech and who they are offensive wise, And what they love to do, they love to try to find a way to run, put themselves in position to run the ball in every different type of formation, right? The down and distance sometimes don't matter. They won't be afraid to run on 2nd and 8. They won't be afraid to run on 3rd and 7, where it looks like they're going to make a pass, so they come up and run a quarterback power, quarterback sneak. So you got to be mindful of those type of things. Now, looking at Georgia Tech last year, they averaged about 424 yards per game. That's what they averaged on the year, 424 yards per game last year, which is an average of 6.1 yards a play. So when you're looking at every play, they're averaging 6.1. So that means that they're getting a lot of first downs. So the first and second down are the most key pivotal downs for the CU defense. You have to play complementary football on the defensive end, right? Keep everything in front of you, tackle well, make sure you gang tackle, make sure the first person hits, second person punch. First person hit, second person punch, right? Punching at the ball, not punching the player, but punching at the ball to try to get a turnover. Now, I will say this. They don't turn the ball over a lot when it comes to fumbles, but they do give you opportunities in the passing game because King is not a great passer. He's not. But he will give you opportunities to pass the ball. If you're looking for King to throw over 200 yards, that's not his game. He's going to be under 200 yards, but he's going to run the hell out the ball. So be mindful of, these type of things. Now, everybody's been saying how physical this game is going to be, and everybody's been telling you they're going to run the ball, they're going to run the ball, they're going to run the ball. What I will say to you about this, I do think Georgia Tech on the perimeter at the wide receiver position is a lot better and have a lot more resources than they did last year. I'm going to say this again. I think they have a lot better wide receivers on paper than they did last year. So it's definitely going to be a sight to see if they choose to go and pass the ball a little bit more for that first game. What I can tell you is this. What CU is going to do offensive-wise is still a mystery. It's still up in the air. Everybody has thoughts on what we should do, what we're capable of doing, but we really don't have the recipe about what it's going to look like, because we brought in a lot of new transfers in the offseason. We brought in a lot of new players in the offseason, as far as offense and defense, and especially on the front line. Now, what I will say to this is we should be able to run the ball due to the fact of we went out and got size. We went out and got more athletic. We went and got more physical on the offensive line from people's previous stops. What it looks like together is still the mystery. So anybody out there that's telling you, hey, this is what's going to happen, you truly don't know, right? But what I will say is I expect our attempts for rushing to go up. I expect our attempts for passing to come down a little bit. But I still see us going to more of a 55-45-ish as far as pass to run, with that 45% being explosive plays now. So I do expect us to have more explosive plays, per se, than what we had previous years. So under Coach Prime at this level. What up, Rob? Kenny Pickett got traded? Yes, I just seen that he got traded to the Las Vegas Raiders. I just seen that. He got traded to the Las Vegas Raiders. So that's good for Shadeur, him getting traded. So that's good. We're going to earn them out. I listen. I do believe that we're going to try to play fast at the beginning, right? To really test out the durability of the DBs, to test out the defense, to see if we can get them winded. I know Georgia Tech is coming in with a new defensive coordinator, so we don't know how necessarily they're going to call the game this year compared to last year, right? If that same defensive coach was there last year, hey, we working with something, right? But with a change of defensive coordinators, right, you don't know what that's going to look like. It's just like last year, right? We got Robert Livingston there. It was still a mystery of, man, what are we going to do? How are we going to play? Is he going to lead? Is he going to get away from this 4-2-5? Or what that looks like? So we still don't know exactly what that looks like. The Browns don't deserve Shadeur. They're going to put him in. They're going to put him in the press. Hey, listen. When it comes to Shadeur Sanders, right, they were going to trade one of them quarterbacks, regardless of how anybody felt. Somebody was going to trade for one of them quarterbacks, whether it was Gabriel or whether it was Pickens. The one person I knew that they wasn't going to get rid of was Shadeur Sanders. I never, in the right mind, thought they were going to get rid of him, trade him, release him, try to put him on the practice squad. It wasn't going to work. It was not going to work. If they tried to do any part of waiving Shadeur, any part to try to get him on the practice squad, somebody was going to take him. It was never going to allow that to happen, right? But they couldn't get rid of Shadeur. It's a money grab. That's what the real thing about this is, right? As much as people hate it, they're looking at Shadeur Sanders as it's a money grab. We got to keep him on the roster because of the money. Nothing else, nothing less, right? If we allow Shadeur Sanders to go to a different situation, that's millions of dollars that we're going to lose on the season, and everything changes. So it's politics and business. That's the problem. Politics and business, and that's the real issue in the whole situation. No doubt, he is a moneymaker. They're not stupid. Like, by no means. Or if you thought that Cleveland didn't understand business and didn't understand the politics of everything and what happened, they understood everything that happened. It's just you have to sit back and allow things to happen and let it happen organically. I know we want everything rushed. I know that you want to take the politics out of everything, and you thinking that it's going to be a first shot. It was never going to be a first shot. Let's just keep it a buck. It was never going to be a first shot when it came to that situation. So you just have to let that situation play out. And I know some people, said they were upset with me about the Shadeur Sanders video that released. So if you haven't checked it out, it's on the platform right now. I know there's a lot of people that was upset about that, right? And I'm not going to make this about Shadeur Sanders because at the end of the day, this is about CU versus Georgia Tech. It's game week, and that's what we get here to talk about. But I just wanted to talk about this before, I move forward, right? The whole politicking and things like that if you thought Shadeur Sanders was going to get the fair opportunity, they was going to put the right offensive line in front of him, they was going to give him the multiple wide receivers, you were read wrong. Because they had to prove a point that whoever they drafted in front of Shadeur had to be seen in a better light so they could justify why they picked Shadeur in the 5th round. That's all that was about. Justifying why they picked somebody at a certain position. Not nothing else, nothing less. If they never picked Dylan Gabriel in front of Shadeur, that whole situation is completely different and they're in Cleveland. It's only because Shadeur was a 5th round and Dylan was a 3rd round pick. They had to change everything. That's it. But hey, I'm gonna move on, right? I'm gonna move on from it. Yeah, it was epic fail. It was an epic fail for sure. But hey, if you want to come up, Miss Lexi, I seen you trying to come on in the back, but it won't let me pull you up. But if you try to come back up, Miss Lexi, just come up, Miss Alexis. I don't know why I just called you Lexi. Miss Alexis, if you want to come up, go ahead. Hit that link. That's open for anybody. If you want to come up and ask some questions, go ahead. But I want to do a little rapid fire with y'all. Let's get some engagement going on. I want to know, which running back will be the first person to score a touchdown this season? Let me know. Which running back will be the first running back to score a touchdown for the Bucs this season? Because I know y'all waiting for my answers. I know that. Y'all gonna get my answers. I tried this last time. Just say I'm working on it. Smiling. Just call me. I know. I just, my mind be just spinning. So my bad. You got Track Hawk. Track Hawk is the person that you got to score the first touchdown. Now, seeing that you got Track Hawk scoring the first touchdown. How do you got him scoring that touchdown? Would it be a rushing touchdown? Would it be a passing touchdown? How do you got him scoring that first touchdown? Because here's the thing about it. This is how I got it playing out. If we're in the red zone, if we're in the red zone 5 yards and in, I think you see Michael Welch score the first touchdown. If we're from 10 yards and out, I think it'll be track off because it could be a swing pass. I don't even think it's going to be a swing pass. I'll take that back. I think what's going to happen, this is what I'm predicting to happen, right? Because I'm going to get my predictions on, how I think everything will play out and receptions and things like that for as wide receivers go. When this all plays out for who scores, I think Trackhawk is going to be in a speed option with K-Salt. K-Salt's going to pitch the ball to him, which is going to allow him to run into the end zone. Just walk into the end zone. That's how I'm looking at this. All right. You said a lone run out of the backfield, so you're predicting a Dylan Edwards type run for him to score a touchdown like he did at TCU. I'll take that. Which running back will have the first 100-yard game? I think Cherkov will have a similar game to Dylan Edwards against TCU. Less touchdowns. I think Cherkov is going to score more touchdowns. I think Cherkov is going to score more touchdowns than Dylan Edwards. You might want to go look up how many touchdowns Dylan Edwards scored. I think Cherkov is going to beat that. I don't think if we can stop the quarterback. It might get ugly. Well, here's the thing. That I love about this situation is that our defense, one of the things that killed us the most, right, and we always struggled with a mobile quarterback in the Coach Prime era at CU. But one of the things I would say is we haven't had a mobile quarterback at practice that allow you to give you a good look. Having K-Salt at practice has allowed the defense to get a good look of what a running QB can do because K-Salt is faster than King. King is more physical than K-Salt is. Like, King will go, he's going to try to put his head down and try to run you over. Salt is just going to try to, 1-2 and try to run by you and take less hits. So, from that situation alone, I think that the quarterback is going to play some type of factor, right? He's going to play a big role in us, but I think if you can get Georgia Tech behind the sticks and allow him to pass the ball, I think that's where we have the victory at. When it comes to CU, I will be happy to see a running back touchdown, no matter who it is, comes from. Run the ball, please. Hey, I feel you. If our defense can't stop Georgia Tech, our offense is going to carry us to the win. If our defense can't stop Georgia Tech, our offense will carry us to the win. At some point, it's going to come down to, who's going to turn over the ball. I think our turnovers are going to come as an interception and not a fumble. They're not a team that puts the ball on the ground a lot from the running game, but they are a team that if you allow them to pass the ball, if you put them in passing situations, you can get a lot of turnovers. So I will say that. I'm into one game. Okay, I got you. Yeah, now Dylan Edwards' first game was 4 touchdowns. yeah. So I definitely get you from that standpoint. I get you. I'm going to say for the season, now Dylan didn't have that, like, after that, them 4 touchdowns, he didn't really have like a explosive year for touchdowns, but he had some good games afterwards. So that's all. Trackhawk got 6 years. All right. So who's going to be the first running back to get 100 yards this season? I want to know. Who's going to be that first running back? Our defensive line is going to wear Georgia Tech down second half. The attitude is going to get to him second half. I think a lot of people aren't aware about the altitude once you start to play it at the elevation level. Now, here's the thing for CU. We have to play complementary football to make all this work, right? I trust us in the second half, making adjustments and putting stops to people in the second half, but we need to make adjustments in the first half. I don't want to get to halftime and make adjustments. I'd rather see us do it early, right? Don't be afraid to call that time out because something doesn't look right. don't go into halftime holding on to timeouts when we could have utilized them to get an extra possession. Because you know what Coach Prime going to do. He's going to kick that ball off, and Georgia Tech is more than likely going to get the ball first. Right? That's what's going to more than likely happen. So I'm going to say this, right? Defense got to come out and make a statement. From that standpoint, I do love our ability to play against Georgia Tech and the capabilities to stop in the run. Anytime you give Coach Prime this much time to evaluate, break down a team, he's been successful, and I'm going to put my trust beyond that. My only question mark is our linebacker core. I didn't really know if we could believe in that group. Well, I mean, here's the thing with linebacker play. As long as you got good defensive line play, that allows your linebackers to be great. I'm going to say this again. As long as you got great defensive line or good defensive line play, it will allow your linebackers to run freely, scrape, and go hit. And that's all we need to do. Scrape and go hit, right? Don't get caught up on blocks. Shed them blocks, get downhill, go attack. Now, one of the things I do love is we got a linebacker that had a lot of T for L's last year, tackles for loss, right? And French. That's going to play a vital part, right? We do got more speed at the linebacker play than we did last year. Now that we have the speed, can we play faster, even faster, knowing that we do have the speed to match up with running backs, to match up with them wheel routes, right? Last year when you looked at our linebackers, right, we were good at run support, but we was terrible at pass in the passing game, right? So now we shouldn't have to take them linebackers off the field for passing situations because we should be able to match up with a tight end. We should be able to match up with a running back out the backfield. We should be able to do different things. But like I keep telling you, I do feel that we're going to play a lot more zone this year than we did last year, which is going to allow us to be able to play in space, but allow our front four to get there. And then as long as we can get our front four to the quarterback, everything else is all hell breaks loose, right? We have to get there with the front four. Win, lose, or draw. Who is cornerback 2? I mean, at the end of the day, we look at cornerback 2. I think it's going to be R.J. Johnson. I think he's going to ultimately get the start. But honestly, it don't really matter who's cornerback 2 because I think they're going to rotate cornerback 2. I think you're going to see Preston Hodge play inside and outside, especially when they bring in Davis, number 9, in the slot. I think you're going to see, if we have any struggles with QB2, you're going to see Preston Hodge go to the outside corner. You're going to see them put Davis in the nickel spot. That's what you're going to end up seeing. So it really don't matter who plays that cornerback 2. It's just all about making sure that you're in the right spot. At the end of the day, you're in the right spot. French is going to show up behind the D line for sure. Every time y'all give these players a nickname, give who a nickname? Was good. Trackhawk came in saying Trackhawk. Ain't nobody give Trackhawk a nickname. That's what it came into. So I don't know what you're talking about. It looks like CU has some nice DBs. Who's going to be a true nickel? So right now the true nickel is still the same, right? That's Preston Hodge. That's truly who that is. Now, will Preston Hodge role change as the season go on? I think it will. But right now, I got to stay with, Preston Hodge is playing the true nickel's position with him having a bag up of Davis playing behind him. I do think RJ can get it done on the outside, but what I would say to this year is I don't think we're going to play as much man-to-man coverage for a long period of time as we did in the previous years. I think we will see a lot more zone, which is going to allow our pass rush to go crazy. So, CU will have a top 30 in defense. I can agree upon that. Matt Titan, what's the word, man? Hey, man, it's here, man. Friday, we it's up. Hodge and Davis are true nickels. Yes, I agree. But hey, nobody had nothing about the running backs. Let's move on to the wide receivers. Which wide receiver scored the first touchdown this year? Which wide receiver? So for me, I got Draylon Miller scoring the first touchdown for the wide receivers. But I think so. Here's the Draylon. I think it's going to be inside shovel pass to Draylon to score the first touchdown for the wide receiver group. I got Amarion Miller having a good game. Jojo, I'll take that. I think the one person that if the ball's at the 20-yard line, the person that might end up scoring the first touchdown, Shadeur Brown. Shadeur, if the ball's at the 20-yard line and they don't give a double coverage look and they give the ability to throw that thing up there, Shadeur Brown might end up having the first touchdown for the wide receivers. Let's see. Which wide receivers will have 7 catches in a game? It could be multitude. But which wide receivers do you think? I got Atkins for the tight end score first. Yeah, I got that question. I just haven't put it up there. That's actually the next question. Which tight end will score first this season? That's actually the next question. But which wide receiver will have 7+ catches in a game this year? It could be a multitude. So if y'all think Draylon, if y'all think Amarion, Shadeur, Q for 6, there's so many wide receivers you could pick from. It has to be O Miller. Why does it have to be O Miller? Explain why does it have to be O Miller to get that first touchdown? The corners were short. They have a guy at corner 1, 5'10", 5'9". Hey, listen, I'm glad you brought that up, right? Because the depth chart for Georgia Tech is out. I'll pop that up there on the screen for you. It is out. So, yes, their corners are not the biggest corners in the world. I can say that. But, their depth chart is out. Their nickel corner is 5'9". The starting corner is 6 foot. The opposite corner is 5'10". They're pretty. Their corners are pretty small on the outside. When you look at the whole grand scheme of things, when you look at the actual corners that's out there on the field, we should have our way. We should have our way, especially with the fade balls. Just throwing it up for touchdowns. We should have our way because the Georgia Tech depth chart is out. They're not pretty tall. They're not tall. One of the things that I've seen, though, is when you look at their depth chart, one of the things that I noticed with their depth chart is I was looking at the offensive line and looking at previous years to this year's offensive line. To me, it looked like some question marks, right? I don't think some people are taking account of that, but I see some real deficiencies in some places. I'm real curious about the center spot, not knowing who they're going to go with. That it could be either 52 or 58, or the left guard. Between the center, the left guard, I think it could be some real issues. And even at the left tackle spot, they are super young at left tackle. So as much as people want to say this and that about Georgia Tech, when you look at their offensive line on that left side, that's something we can really get after. And so who's going to be lined up on that left side against them? You're going to have the Arden Walkers of the world that's going to be lined up on that side against them, against the left tackle. You're going to see Quincy Wiggins lined up on that side. You should see Anquan Barnes or McNeil lined up on that side. So we get them into passing situations. We should have our way with this Georgia Tech offensive line. Now, they do have some experience on the offensive line, right? They do got a couple of seniors on the line, but they also got a couple of sophomores that's going to start. And left tackle is always the blind side. So They got a sophomore, just like we got a sophomore in Jordan Seaton, starting at the left tackle position. So I'm curious to see what this Georgia Tech offensive line really looks like, because I think there's a lot of credit being given to this offensive line that they haven't earned yet. So we're going to see. It's just like me saying this about our offensive line, right? We've gotten bigger, stronger, faster on the offensive line, but we still got to see all the pieces together, right? Because we've never seen the collection of this offensive line together in the game. Practice is one thing, but in the game, it's something different. So I don't want to put that notion of the same question marks I got for Georgia Tech offensive line, same question I got for ours. How consistent can we be, and can we minimize any and all penalties, which is false starts, holding, or anything like that? So if we eliminate, my biggest areas for CU is eliminating penalties. That's one of the things, right? And being physical in the run game. Those are the two most glaring keys to win against Georgia Tech. I want to see the running game. I don't care about anything else. Everybody's in the same boat. Everybody's in the same boat. Everybody wants to see them run the ball, right? Everybody's been talking, hey, man, we're going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball. Hey, come Fridays, put up a shut-up times. Georgia Tech offensive line is young, though. We have a lot of experience with the O-line. I get it 1,000%, right? As much as how young they are and the experience that we got, that experience doesn't equate to them playing together, right? And so that's the piece that we have to take into part, right? We need to see this all together when everybody fired on all cylinders and we run it down to somebody's throat. The left side, the right side, the only question mark I got for us is our center spot. That's the only question mark. The ability to run the ball left behind Seaton and Hill, give me that all day long. The ability to run behind Chrysler and Johnson, give me that all day long. The center spot, can we get explosive up the middle? That's the part I want to see, right? And I want to see it the first drive. Come out running the ball first drive. I don't want to see no passing. I want to see you downhill attacking straight first possession downhill, right? Show us that we gonna power off the football. We gonna have the defensive lineman 3 to 4 to 5 yards back, and we getting a run and we get 6 yards a pop. That's all. The pitch option will be the pitch option play will change the way the running game works. Seems like we will be running it too. Yes, we will. That is one of the areas of what's going to change is Shadeur. We ran a read option last year, but here's the thing about that. Who is afraid of Shadeur really taking off and running with that ball? Now you have to account for the quarterback. Now you have to play 11 on 11 football. So if you overplay any situation, guess what's going to happen? K-Saw's going to keep it. And now that's a 15 to 20-yard gash. So from that standpoint, right, when you look at it from a multitude of ways, you have to play 11 on 11. As a long-time Georgia fan, I hope CU will not take Georgia Tech for granted. They lack in a lot of areas on paper. However, if they are like a fly at a picnic, they will scrap and be ready to scrap. Yes, I agree 1,000%. I don't think you take Georgia Tech lightly, right? Because Georgia Tech is one of these things, right? If you allow Georgia Tech to lean on you and lean on you and not fight, they're going to strike blood, right? They're going to strike for blood. And what you have to do is to be able to get out of possessions on third down, right? How many more situations we could put them in third down situations? So here's my thing to this, right? The more third down situations we can put them in, the better success we have. The less third down situations and the more first downs they get, the more trouble we are in. So from that standpoint, right, as long as we're allowed to play and be aggressive, and I'm talking about everybody playing fast, playing aggressive, attacking downhill, I think we're fine. The best CU team ever were Hageman, running the pitch option with Cardell, and Solomon running the pitch option. Oh yes, no doubt, no doubt. I think a lot, but see, Gerhard, when you're saying that, I don't think a lot of people understand that from a standpoint of a lot of people didn't watch Colorado football at that point in time. You know, a lot of people didn't understand what Colorado football is. So there's a new wave of people that's watching Colorado based upon other factors. So when you're talking about, you know, Cordell Stewart, Rashad, Hageman, like when you're talking about that type of football, that's a whole different other layer that they don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Running the triple option. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just football that people don't know, right? And so I try to, you know, do what I can to, like, you know, help people out. But yeah, there's a lot of things that people don't know about that type of football. CU definitely is aware how dangerous Georgia Tech is. Trust. But Coach Prime is one of those best coaches to trust of the whole offseason prep. Yes, he is. So I'm gonna say this, right? I trust Coach Prime in game one situations, especially with a lot of time to prep. But I'll say this, right? This entire all season, it's been a different focus, a different layer, a different want, a different act, a different demeanor about this team. But the difference with this team is a huge senior-led dominant team. So I expect more being led by a bunch of seniors. So one thing you're going to see next year is we're going to be super young. We're going to be super young. We're going to have to go into the portal and get some veterans. But this team collectively right now, we have a tremendous amount of seniors. And that is going to be a vital part to this season. And it's going to mean a little bit more for the seniors because all of the seniors on this team are trying to find a way to get to the NFL, trying to get and play to be invited to one of the bowl games in the offseason. So there's a lot to play. Just give Seton the ball, let them boys. Nah, man, we're not doing that, man. we got to protect the franchise. We got to protect the franchise. All right, so here's one of the questions that I'm get into later this week, but I just wanted to put this up here. How many games can a CU team keep teams under 150 yards rushing? And I know people wonder, like, how did you come up with this 150 yards a game notion, things like that. When you look at our defense last year, we gave up 151 yards a game. So what that logic is telling you is if we keep teams under 150 yards per game, we are more likely to win the football game. I'm going to say this again. If we keep teams under 150 yards rushing, we are more likely to win the football game. So that's how vital this is. If you keep Georgia Tech under 150 yards, so they average 180. So if you could trim off 30 to 40 yards of them, of what they love to do, that gives you the best opportunity to win that game. That means they have to pass the ball. We have got a lot of stops behind a lot of scrimmage, and so that's going to play a key part. So when you look down at the breakdown, the expectation for Georgia Tech, can you keep them under 150 yards rushing? That is going to be the key to Colorado winning on Friday. And the last question I got, right? How many games can CU keep teams under 300 yards of total offense? How many games? Out of 12 games, how many games do y'all think Colorado can keep teams under 300 yards of total offense? And I'll give y'all the total numbers on that. Right? As a defense, we gave up 351 yards per game last year. So can we find a way to eliminate 50 yards per game? Georgia Tech is not going to throw that much. So we keep Georgia Tech under 300 yards. This is probably going to be a blowout. I'm just going to be honest. You keep Georgia Tech under 300 yards total offense, it's going to be a blowout. because their total offense for the season is 424 yards. You keep them under 300 yards, this is more than likely going to be a blowout on CU's advantage. So I just want to know. You don't got to say nothing right now, but hey, if you're watching this later on, I just want to know how many games you got. How many games you got? So looking at this game, looking at the expectations for Georgia Tech, Colorado, here's some key factors I'll take into this, right? One, the first key factor, I'm going to do offense, defense for Georgia Tech. So for me, right, offensive wise for Colorado, the keys to that is running the ball offensively. Running the ball. Defense, third down stops. I know everybody wants to say stop the run, but third down stops, third down 9 conversions is more important because that's allowing us to get more situation for the offense to get the ball in their hands, to be more explosive, for them to keep the ball to us, for us to get more punt return opportunities. From that standpoint, right, when you look across the board, my 2 key areas for Colorado offensive-wise is run the ball offensively, defensively, it's third down stops. Now, for Georgia Tech, offensive-wise, how do we keep the running back contained? That's going to be my key for them. And then defensively, how can we expose these small corners they have on the outside with our explosive wide receivers? Those are my points right there. So take it around with how you want to look at it, but those are my 4 keys, offensive, defensive wise for Colorado and Georgia Tech. I'm going to do a show later on. Hopefully Coach Dre will be here. That I go more into detail about those expectations, about those keys. And then either Wednesday show or Thursday show, I'll go into X factors. So who do I have as X factor for CU and Georgia Tech? Who's offense and defensive players that should be the keys to this game, and then give an overall score of the game. So all this to come in store come Thursday. Wednesday, we'll have to see you aunties on with Philip Dukes. So Dukes the Scoop will be on this thing Wednesday. So y'all tune in Wednesday. Dukes the Scoop will be here. And we got more to come. We got a show tomorrow. We actually got a show tomorrow. So y'all come back tomorrow. We got a show tomorrow. Tomorrow's show is going to be more structured around Colorado. I'm going to give my depth chart prediction for game 1. Something I haven't did yet. So game 1 tomorrow, predictions for offense and defense. And then Thursday show we'll do expectations, X factors, and so forth from there. So yes, I think that Georgia Tech offense off the field keeps you on it. It's the keys to the game of winning. Yes, I agree. So hey man, I'm about to get up out this thing. If you ain't got nothing else, I'm about to get up out of here, man. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button. If you're on any platform that is not YouTube, because I can't see everybody that's watching right now, pull over to YouTube. Give us a like. Give us a follow. Keep your eyes on the quarterback. Yes. Tomorrow we're gonna break down Coach Prom's press conference because he do talk tomorrow. So we're gonna break down Coach Prom's press conference tomorrow. Trying to think if there's anything else for tomorrow's show. So yeah, we'll go through Colorado. We'll break down Coach Prom, speaking to the media tomorrow. We're gonna break that down. And we're gonna break down more stuff about Georgia Tech. So it's game week, man. We're here all week. Y'all gonna get nonstop shows. So hey, y'all been asking for it. We back. We finna deliver. So it's been nice to be back. Friday's here, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. As always, man, it's RobDaManMedia. See you guys in the next one.